I've had it with this economy ticket on this plane. So I made a video back in November called my step-by-step plan to becoming a millionaire. So what I thought I'd do in this video is give you a little update because it has been 6 months since that video, so we'll see where we're at. But I don't want this whole video to be just about me, so what I'm going to do is go through that plan again for those who missed it. But just remember, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a random dude in a donut t-shirt shouting at a camera, so please do your own research before investing your capital. So obviously, I can't speak for everyone, but for me personally, I've wanted to be a millionaire for as long as I can remember. I'm not really sure why this is a goal. I haven't really delved too much into it. The only stuff I talked to my therapist about, you don't really want to know. But what I do know is I do like the idea of being able to afford whatever I want and do whatever I want. So thinking about it, I guess that means financial independence, not really being a millionaire. But when you put millionaire in the title or the thumbnail, it gets more clicks, it gets more views, and then hopefully more ad revenue. So apologies for that. Step 1 is kind of boring, but is actually quite essential, and that's building up a 3 to 6 month emergency fund in your bank account or savings account, wherever you want to keep it. Now to backtrack a little bit, if you have debt, so you've got credit cards or overdrafts, then this would need to be sorted first before you even get to this step. So for me, that's not a problem because I've got no debt, but if you do have debt, then you need to wipe that out first before even getting close to this step 1. So anyway, the emergency fund is designed to help with job losses. So if you lose your job, then you've got some money to fall back on. If your house gets burnt down, all of these things that could potentially mean that you can't work or there's a big expense that's needed. And for me personally, it's going to be the money that I fall back onto when I take the plunge into full-time YouTube brokenness. Or if it comes to it and I get cancelled on YouTube for saying some dodgy joke, then I've got some money to fall back on. And for me, I think it's better to have more than less, so I've gone with 6 months instead of 3 or in between. So I've gone for the maximum, because for me anyway, with everything going on currently, you can never really be too careful. So having money in the bank to help you if something goes wrong is perfect and ideal. So since the first video that I did, I've actually not really changed much. I've still got 6 months, but I've actually had to increase it because our expenses have gone up a little bit since we moved into this slightly upgraded version of a flat. So I guess that's not ideal, but it's not drastic amounts of money, so we'll live. Step 2 is open a tax-free account. In the UK, we use the stocks and shares ISA, so you could open it with free trade, stake, Hargreaves, Lansdowne, Vanguard, whatever you want to do. If you open it with stake or free trade, then you get a free share, so you might as well just have a look. Links in the description. You might as well. Comme ci, comme ça. It's worth it, even if you just get your free share and run. I didn't say that. Between me and you, yeah? But anyway, there's lots of options. So I personally use Trading 212 because although it does charge fees now, it is still the cheapest. So unfortunately, you can't open an account now if you don't have one, so you will have to choose one of the other options I just said. And the only limitation with doing this is that there's a £20,000 limit of investing in an ISA. So once you've invested £20,000 in a year, you can no longer invest into that ISA and get that tax-free advantage. But if you have 20 grand to invest into an ISA, then you're doing pretty well for yourself anyway, so you can worry about that when you get to it. Step 3 is to invest into the S&P 500 using an index fund or an ETF perhaps. I've personally gone down the ETF route as they have slightly less fees and it's a bit easier to actually get involved in them. The ETF that I'm personally invested into is the VUSA, along with some other stuff which I talk about in this video here. So the VUSA is an ETF run by Vanguard and it tracks the S&P 500, which is the biggest 500 companies in the USA. And the reason that I chose this instead of maybe the FTSE 100, which is the biggest 100 companies in the UK, is that the S&P 500 has a great rate of return of around 9.7% from 1965 all the way up to 2018. This doesn't mean that it will continue to return that because past performance doesn't indicate future performance. However, because of the length of time, it does give a more accurate figure than, let's say, the last 5 years. So to combat this and combat inflation, we'll say it returns around 7% and use that figure going forward. However, because I invest in other stocks as well, I'm hoping that I actually do beat the 7% over a period of time, but beating the market is actually quite difficult. And because I'm going to be spending more time on my business in the coming months, I might have to retract a little bit and put more into ETFs and less into individual stocks, just so I can focus on my business. And step 4 is consistently invest a proportion of my income into stocks and shares, into my pension, into various other places. So at the moment I'm investing around 16% of my income But this may change over the coming months as I said, focus more on this business and may have to withdraw that so I can actually pay my bills. But more on that later. So this 16% at the moment actually equates to around £380 per month, which is broken down into £210 that goes to trading 212, £50 odd that goes into my personal pension, and around 130 that goes into my workplace pension. All of these pots will have different returns, but hopefully will average around 7% per year. And on a side note, according to some research done by Fidelity, if you are saving over 13%, then you should be able to maintain your current lifestyle in retirement, which is a very good benchmark to be saving and investing for. So if we continue at this 16% rate every single month and invest that £380 into the S&P 500 at a rate of return of 7%, then I'll reach that millionaire mark in 32 and a bit years. So I'll be 57, 58. But bear in mind, I've already got 18 grand invested. So if you're starting from zero, it actually take like 35 years, which is not really a huge difference. You might be thinking 58, that's miles away. Why do you want to be a millionaire by then? Well, Colonel Sanders, who invented KFC, actually made his first million at 73. So I'll take 58. So although this is great and I'll be a millionaire when I'm 58, I actually want to up the game a little bit. I want to start investing more and maxing out my tax-free allowance. The tax-free ISA allowance is 20 grand per year, so I've got a long way to go until I earn enough money to do so, but you'll be the first to know when I do. And once I do get there, I'll be able to invest £1,666 every single month into that ISA, into the S&P 500 at that rate of 7%. And that will speed up my millionaire journey by a long way. I'll be a millionaire in just 18 years. So I'll be 43, which is the same age as Samuel L. Jackson hit his first milli. I've had it with this economy ticket on this plane. So that is the sweet, sweet plan, and hopefully I can get to that point where I'm investing that much and I'll be millionaire in 18 years. That'd be sweet. And let's say you actually had zero invested currently, you could do it in 20 years. So it's still pretty mad. So as I said, that is the best case scenario, but what's the worst case scenario? So let's say I can only afford £150 to invest every single month. I know that's a lot for people, and I know that if you're on 25k a year, that you might not be able to squeeze that, but for me, that would be the minimum I'd want to invest in order to be able to retire properly. And to be honest, I think most people would be able to afford it if you made some adjustments to your lifestyle. And if I did implement this backup plan, then I'd still hit £1 million after 42 years, so I'd be 67, which is not too bad. Obviously, it's a long way away, but it does show the power of compounding and the power of letting your money do your work for you over a long period of time. And if you started from zero, it would take you 46 years, so that's not bad either. So essentially, the key to all of this is investing as early as you possibly can and do it consistently for as long as you can. And as the old saying goes, good things do come to those who wait. That has been the step-by-step plan to becoming a millionaire. But how is it going for me so far? Well, I'm pleased to say I recently actually hit 5% of this target. As of literally right now, it's ducked under 5% because the market is going up and down. And by the end of the day, when I get my YouTube paycheck, then I should be sorted. I should be back over 5%. So to be honest, the plan is going quite well, not gonna lie. Just 95% to go. But how are you guys doing? Any of you closer to the milli than 5%? Let me know. It's not a competition, but it's good to help each other out, work out what people did to get up there quicker. You know what I mean. But anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do those nice things. And don't forget to get your free shares down in the description. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm trying to help you become one. So peace. Swings and roundabout. So I guess swings and roundabouts. I've had it with these I've had it with this